So I'm Deanna Williams. How are you today?
I'm fine. My name is Nicholas.
Hi, Nicholas. What can I help you with today?
Okay, so the biggest thing that's going on with me is I have a situation with the IRS, and this has been going on for a couple of years. I had a scholarship in my last university, and they charged me for a discrepancy that I have, and we've been going back and forth for a couple of years, and I'm really frustrated about the situation because clearly there's something going on wrong on their end, because I've looked through all the numbers and I'm getting really tired of it. Every year it's something different with the IRS, and I just want this to be over with. My wife, she's been driven crazy with this because she sees how frustrated I am, and I think it's stressing her out too. So
right, I can understand that.
Yeah, she just wants me to pay it and get it over with. And I mean, I get it. It's not that much money, to be honest, but it's it's the principle of the matter. I mean, I'm not going to give them my hard-earned money, so.
No one ever wants to give that up.
Yeah.
Can I actually ask you how much is the discrepancy that they're saying you have?
So it's about $768.
I'm sorry, that was what again?
$768.
$768.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you spoken with your local CPA, or how did you file your taxes?
So we do have an accountant at our programming firm, and he helps us with filing some of the stuff. But this issue I've kind of taken under my own wing because he hasn't had that much time for me. So
Okay, I see.
yeah, I mean, I've talked to him about it a little bit, and he kind of gave me the resources, but yeah, it's been mostly back and forth between myself and the IRS.
Okay. I would highly recommend you see the CPA for this kind of issue. I don't really have the means to be fighting with the IRS, but we can definitely help you look at your taxes, and maybe I can take a view at it and see where they're saying that you went wrong, because maybe there's just an error on their end or something minor. But I understand not wanting to pay and give in your hard-earned money and working. You worked hard for it, so it's all yours, but no one wants to give more money to the IRS.
Yeah, you said it, sister.
Right. So can you tell me more about the scholarship that you received?
So yeah, it's a scholarship I got during my time in the master's program for computer science, and
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Nice. Congrats on getting your master's also.
Thank you, I appreciate that. It was definitely tough, but yeah, I earned that scholarship, and I mean, for some reason they want to take a cut out of that too, and it doesn't really make sense to me, because I mean, they gave me the scholarship. I don't, whatever. So like I said, my wife was the one that convinced me to come here. I mean, I've been handling our finances all these years.
Okay.
And I didn't just come here for this. She said that you could probably help with a lot of other things, and
Absolutely, we can do whatever you want us to do. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you're wanting to accomplish, or you have savings or in that kind of nature? What is your main goal?
So we do have about 3.2 million in checking accounts. I don't really know what to do with them. The big thing is I'd like to start really investing, start making more money, I guess. With inflation, I should probably start. I should have started before, I guess. It's just I get really scared. I've always heard the stories of people taking advantage of each other and losing everything. So I guess I've been kind of worried about who to trust, and I always said that I would do it myself, but I just haven't gone and done myself, and
right.
I don't really. Whenever I look into it, I'm not really sure what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so complicated.
Well, your first step was to come see me, and you already accomplished that, so you're going in the right direction. I will ask that you bring in some statements so that way I can kind of see exactly what you are at, and then if you want, we can kind of do like a risk assessment and see what you would be comfortable with.
What do you mean, like
a risk assessment? Okay. It is more of what can you tolerate when you put your assets into the market. So if you were in a situation where the market was going down, how would you feel watching some of your money go down? So it's the way we invest our assets, we're going to be making sure that you can tolerate the volatility of each asset. And so if you can't sleep at night because your money's going down, we're not going to put you in something really risky that can make it go up and down that high. We'll put you in something a little bit more conservative. But it's definitely something that,
I like that. Yeah.
We would like to bring in also your wife so that way we can kind of see the whole household standpoint on it.
Okay. Yeah, I could talk to her. I mean, she was the one who told me to come here. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll bring her next time.
Awesome. Okay, and so for that part of it, you're just going to have to bring in some statements for me. That way we can kind of go through that. But can you tell me a little bit more about your family? Like, do you have kids, and maybe some of your debts, your expenses that you typically have as well?
Okay, so I'm 38 years old. My wife, Cindy, she's 37.
Okay.
I'm a programmer, and she's a psychologist. Yeah, we have 2 kids. Nathan is 6, and Francine is 4. And yeah, we're hoping to send them off to college at some point. I think we do have the means to do it. Just not really sure how to go about it.
So you may be considering a college savings kind of planning as well?
Yeah, something like that would be good. I'm just not really sure how to go about it.
Well, we can help you there, so don't worry. It's awesome there. So how long have you and your wife been together?
So we've been together for about 7 years now. Yeah,
okay.
we had our first year after we got married. So it's been crazy. It's been crazy since then with a couple of kids running around, but it's been nice. Everything's good. Can't complain.
Oh, you can never complain about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So we got college savings, and you were wanting to invest. And let's get back onto the some of the expenses. So, how about your home mortgage? How much longer do you have on that?
So I don't know how many years I have on that, but it's about $5,000 a month. I mean, we got the house. It was I feel kind of uncomfortable talking about this. It was $1,200,000, and we had a down payment. It was about $250,000. So yeah, the mortgage is $5,000 a month, but I mean, I make a good amount of money, and Cindy does too. So.
Okay. Do you mind me asking how much y'all are making, so I know what's coming in?
Okay, so I make $200,000 a year, and she makes $60,000 a year.
Okay. That's really good. That helps out. And then some other expenses that.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm a big believer in education, and the public schools around aren't the greatest. So we decided to send them to private schools. So tuition's about $15,000 a year. So I guess it's like $1,200, something like that a month. Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
Yeah,
and,
but sometimes that tuition and then that education for your kids, it's well worth the investment.
Yeah, I look. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's like an investment in the future. So, I think that they're both very smart, and I think it's going to be worth it at the end of the day. So, yeah, those are pretty big chunks of our budget. But yeah, we also. I don't think I'm much of a spender, but to me there are some things that are worth spending money on, and I do like to take my vacations. And I mean, I don't know how much you know about programming, but sitting down in front of a computer all the time, it starts to wear on you. You start to feel like a robot. So sometimes it's nice to go out and feel like a human being again. So we have our vacation, so we probably spend a good amount of money on that too.
Where do you like to go on vacation?
Anywhere. I mean,
Anywhere but your office?
anywhere but my office. Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of cool places in the States, but globally also. I love Italy.
I've never been
beautiful.
there.
Really
That
pretty.
sounds
You have
so
to go
much
there
fun.
sometime. Haven't gone to Asia or Australia yet, but that's on the bucket list for sure.
You like to adventure.
For sure.
Awesome.
When you're stuck in front of a computer, you start to your mind starts to drift sometimes. Let's put it that way. So
Oh, yes. So about how often do you like to go on vacations like those?
probably a couple times a year, and when we go, usually I like to spend a good chunk of money because it's like.
When you're on vacation, you have
Yeah,
to.
you're on vacation, right? So, for me, it's like, if I'm gonna put that time aside to go on vacation, I'm gonna make sure it's worth it. So, me, to be honest, probably spend like, $10,000 a year on vacations.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have a couple of cars, and
Are they paid off? Or are they
well, we're leasing.
You're leasing?
actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
leasing
yeah.
your cars? And how long is each lease?
So we got our leases around the same time. We have 2 years left on each of the leases. My car is $600 a month, and her car is like $300.
Okay. And then planning on to release after that as well?
We'll see. She wants a better one, and she's kind of telling me like hey, yours is a lot more expensive, so maybe we should kind of balance it out. And I guess I don't really have much of ground to stand on in that argument, so that's okay. This honestly, the lease was too expensive anyway. It wasn't worth it. So yeah.
Gotta be equal.
Yep. That's what she says. Our income isn't quite equal, but she is my
Okay.
wife. She is my wife. You gotta keep her happy.
Well, that's a good way to look at it. Happy wife, happy life.
That's true. That's true. I think I'm doing a good job thus far, but.
So can I go back and kind of ask a little bit more about the checking that you were talking about earlier? You said the $3 million is in just your checking, not in a savings or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, we do have some retirement accounts.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with that, but.
Do you know how much is in them, or is it a 401k or with your company or anything
Yeah,
like that?
it's a 401k.
Okay.
It's 401k, and I don't really look into that. I just kind of hope everything's going well, I guess.
Sometimes that's a good thing. That's a good thing, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really check in that. I just have my own money in the checking accounts, and I make the contributions. I guess it's a maximum that they allowed us, and my wife too. I think she does the same thing.
That is really
she
good.
she was the one who told me that I should be doing that. Now that I think about it, I kind of did the basic amount at first, but then she's like, "Hey, you better get on this because your employer matches."
Well, she is definitely looking out for you.
Yeah,
'Cause that is so
she's
true.
smart. She's smart for sure.
Awesome.
She's smart.
I can't wait to meet her.
She's a character.
So when you bring in those statements, that's going to be part of those that I'm going to need as well,
Okay.
if you're okay with bringing those in. But what I was going to ask about the checking is it a joint checking, or do y'all have separate accounts?
Yeah, we have the joint checking.
It's joint checking. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then other than those two kind of...
Okay, so there is one other thing that I want to talk about. So Cindy doesn't know about this yet, but I've always had a dream. I mean, I'm from Florida, so there's always a lot of water around us, and you always see the boats around. And one of my dreams has always been to get a boat, and I finally got a boat. And
So you have the boat,
I have the boat.
and she doesn't know about it.
Yeah, she doesn't know about
Okay.
it yet. She doesn't know about it yet. I'm very excited about it, but I haven't had that conversation with her yet. I didn't realize how expensive everything was going to be. Like, the boat was expensive, but I didn't realize how much it was going to cost, like, every month.
Right.
To just have it.
Mhm.
There are docking fees and all this stuff that I didn't really know about, to be honest with you. So
Are they just a little overwhelming, or?
Yeah, they're a little bit overwhelming. To be honest, I don't feel like, I'm much of a spender. Like, yeah, I did get the boat and everything, but that's like, I don't buy a lot of crazy stuff. I do the vacations and all that, but I don't go and buy all these cars and stuff. I mean, so to me, it feels like, a reward for the hard work that I put in. So.
Okay. So was the boat something that you had previously talked to your wife about?
Not so much.
Okay, just spontaneous then. So she has.
Yeah, it was an impulse buy, to be honest. It just looked like it was a good deal.
Okay.
You see the price tag and then you're like, okay, well that sounds good.
Right.
And then you buy, and then you don't necessarily think like, oh well, how much is it going to cost to keep it up and everything. You know that the docking fees are really expensive, then the gas and all that stuff. Wow.
Yes, everything adds up, and we always learn it the hard way.
Yeah.
As far as telling your wife, it is something that I highly recommend, because all the fees that you're talking about, I'm pretty sure she's going to eventually see it coming out of your checking and probably start wondering what's this kind of fee for.
Well, I was kind of hoping like if maybe there's kind of a way like to kind of avoid using my checking account, maybe have another account so she doesn't have to see it.
Okay.
She doesn't have to know about it.
It is actually my responsibility to not hide stuff from couples when we work together. So
All right.
I can recommend you to someone if that is something that you really, really want to do. I don't recommend doing it, but I can recommend you to another advisor if that is what you're wanting.
I mean,
I think it would be a lot better to actually sit down and tell her that. I think it's something that, do you think it's going to affect your marriage in any kind of way?
well, not my marriage.
Okay.
I mean, it's just, I guess, a little bit embarrassing. A little bit embarrassing because
she's your wife. She'll probably get over it.
Yeah. Well. Okay. All right. You're probably right.
If it's something that you were really wanting to do, I can recommend you to somebody for sure that can possibly do something for that. But we don't typically do that here. It's against our standards to hide stuff from the other spouse, and it's just
when you put it that way, I feel kind of bad about it. So.
I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm really sorry.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying though.
Okay. So
I'll just talk to her, I guess. Well, maybe we'll talk about it with you here. Maybe that'll make it easier.
It could, yes, possibly, absolutely. You can bring her in and we'll lay it out.
Oof, that's gonna be interesting. Okay.
So, other than those expenses, is there anything else that I should know about?
Well, that's pretty much. We have all kinds of other expenses, but it'd take forever to go through all of them. As far as the other things go, Cindy talks to me about our finances a lot, and we're pretty well insured except for a couple of things. She's worried about the whole life insurance situation. I feel like we're pretty young, so.
Can you tell me more about the life insurance situation?
Okay, well, I don't have life insurance, and the thing about life insurance to me is that they're always trying to sell us, and I just think it's a ripoff. I'm not gonna die anytime soon. I'm 38 years old. I'm in good health. I work out and all that stuff. I eat well, so I'm gonna be fine. I figure, down the line, it'll make sense to have some life insurance, when it's actually a possibility that I'm going to die. But I think just for the time being, it doesn't make sense. But she's kind of worried about it, and I think that's maybe one of the reasons why she wanted me to talk to you.
Okay. That is something that we can look into as well. What I can do right now is maybe even after we review your financial situation and standpoint and see where you're at from the statements that you're going to bring in, we can kind of review some life insurance policies for you that would be a possibility and kind of show you what they can cover. We can go into the details more about why it's important to even have a life insurance, because if something, say, unexpectedly did happen to you, that $200,000 income ceases to exist, and then your wife and kids are trying to pick up the pieces and figure it all out from there. But it's definitely something that we can address when you bring your wife in and we have our next meeting. So for right now, after we bring in those financial statements, let's set up our next meeting so that we can dig a little bit deeper into this. What do you think about that?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you, with my assistant, set up a meeting whenever you're available.
Okay, sounds good.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in. It was so
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. I appreciate it.
All right.